Hey, it's Mark Watson from MTC Media with your Golden Dome report. Taking a look back at Notre Dame's season, which ended at 9-3. It's hard to tell where to start because the expectations wasn't necessarily a national championship. And at the beginning of the season, had you said that they had a chance at double-digit wins, I don't think anyone would complain. But I think what this was how everything played out for the Irish. The three losses came in different ways. The Ohio State loss, where they could not hold a lead at the end of a game where on third downs and on these critical plays, they just could not do enough to sustain drives. So that was a game that was winnable at home that she ended up losing. Then there was the Louisville loss. The Louisville loss looked like a team that just looked completely unprepared. Unprepared to play after the tough win over Duke the week before. Then there was the Clemson loss. That was a loss where had they gotten touchdowns instead of field goals, there's a good chance that the Irish could have won that particular game. So it's just a lot of difficulty judging the season because you feel empty inside. You don't want to complain about 9 wins, but you also feel like this season wasn't satisfying. It wasn't what was expected. And part of it started before the season. Marcus Freeman won the Utah's Angie Ludwig. And then somehow, some way, it does not happen, right? It doesn't happen, and then next thing you know, you take Gerard Parker, which seemed to be someone that was an afterthought, to be honest with you. So then that doesn't work out in big games. Was Parker really prepared with a game plan that could beat Ohio State? Not when you have a graduate quarterback and the weapons you have and you only score 14 points. Where was the offense efficiency when you turned the ball over so much against the likes of Louisville? Even in last week's game against Stanford, the game started off with a bunch of Notre Dame turnovers. And then, of course, there's the Clemson game, where you knew that was a game where you had to score touchdowns, yet you ended up with field goals. I don't want to blame everything on Parker, but his inexperience just came at the wrong time for Notre Dame when there was expectations coming off an 8-4 year the year before. So that cost Chancey Stuckey his job because Notre Dame let him go. The wide receivers coach, Tobias Merriweather, has announced that he's jumped into the portal. Notre Dame's wide receiver core was the most disappointing unit on offense, if not the most disappointing unit on this entire team. And Marcus Freeman, for all the praise for all of his recruiting, the idea that he came into the season with a wide receiver core that was not prepared to make an impact, with a graduate quarterback and an offense coordinator that wasn't your first choice. So a piece of me feels like Notre Dame might feel like they should be lucky that they have 9 wins. But if you ask everyone, especially after they got Sam Hartman, what was the excitement level for Notre Dame? It looked like this was going to be the year they would get a big win over Ohio State, and they didn't get it. I don't think many people expected the loss to Louisville, which, to be fair, Louisville is probably better than what people thought they were. And the Clemson loss on the road is a game that Marcus Freeman has to win, just for his resume, for his fight, for his brand. And they couldn't do that against a Clemson team that was reeling at the time. So that's why I said this season for Notre Dame was one of unfulfilled promises, because it just never felt like it was the Notre Dame that we expected. So what's the expectation going to next year? Is Notre Dame going to portal get another quarterback? Can they fix the wide receiver core? If Andre Escobar leaves, is there enough depth on the offensive line and in the running back core to be able to control the game? All of those are huge questions coming off a season that just left you wanting for more. Smart, Swash